First contact's consequence. Ambassador Reyna Thacker stood at the observation deck of the International Space Station Harmony, watching the approaching Zephyrian vessel with a mixture of awe and apprehension. The alien ship resembled a massive crystalline snowflake, its translucent surface refracting starlight in mesmerizing patterns. They're requesting permission to dock, Ambassador. Lieutenant James O'Connor reported, his Irish lilt carrying a hint of excitement. Their translator systems are already synchronized with ours. Grant them access, Reyna replied, straightening her formal diplomatic attire. Humanity's first official contact with the Zephyrians couldn't have come at a more crucial time. 3 days ago, their long-range sensors had detected something troubling at the edge of the solar system. The unmistakable energy signatures of Drakath warships. The Zephyrians had arrived bearing warnings. Their own civilization, despite being centuries ahead of humanity technologically, had been monitoring the Drakath Empire's expansion with growing concern. The Drakath were conquerors, beings of silicon and metal who viewed organic life as inherently inferior. The docking procedure completed with impossible grace, barely a tremor running through the station. When the airlock cycled open, Reyna found herself face to face with first speaker Lyra, the Zephyrian ambassador. The aliens stood nearly 7 feet tall, their crystalline body structure allowing glimpses of swirling, iridescent energy within. Their voice, when they spoke, seemed to chime like wind through glass. Ambassador Thakur, Lyra greeted, their form shifting through subtle hues of blue and gold. We come seeking friendship in dark times. Welcome aboard the Harmony. First speaker, Reyna responded, performing the traditional greeting gesture the Zephyrians had shared in their initial communications, a slow, circular motion with her right hand, palm facing upward. We are honored by your presence. The delegation moved to the station's conference room, where holographic displays showed the approaching Drakath fleet. Admiral Marcus Henderson, a veteran of the Mars conflicts, studied the data with a grim expression. How long? He asked. 2 weeks, perhaps less, Lyra replied. The Drakath believe they have found easy prey, 2 species they consider soft and unprepared for war. Your nuclear weapons and our energy matrices seem primitive to them. Reyna noticed the subtle emphasis on seem and caught the faintest shimmer of what might have been amusement in Lyra's crystalline form. You mentioned in your transmission that you have a proposal for us. Indeed. Lyra's form pulsed with deeper colors. My people have long been known as philosophers and artists. We create beauty, study the cosmos, and seek harmony in all things. The Drakath see this as weakness, just as they see humanity's dedication to art, music, and creative expression as proof of your species' inferiority. Admiral Henderson leaned forward. But that's not the whole truth, is it? No. Lyra's form suddenly shifted, displaying complex geometric patterns that seemed to hint at hidden depths. We Zephyrians learned long ago that true strength lies in balance. Our art conceals weapons. Our music carries military codes. Our philosophical debates have developed some of the most sophisticated battle strategies in the galaxy. And you think humanity has something similar to offer? Reyna asked, though she was beginning to understand where this was going. We've studied your species, Ambassador. You build weapons of incredible destruction, yet you use the same technologies to heal and create. Your soldiers carry medical supplies alongside their ammunition. Your warships have gardens and libraries. You wage war while writing poetry about peace. Lyra's form brightened. The Drakath cannot comprehend this duality. They see it as confusion, weakness. We see it as perfect balance. Admiral Henderson's eyes narrowed. You're proposing an alliance. More than that, Lyra chimed. We're proposing a synthesis. Your adaptability, creativity, and unique perspective, combined with our technology and philosophical approach. Together, we can show the Drakath that peace is not the absence of strength, but its highest expression. Reyna exchanged glances with Henderson. The Admiral nodded slowly. We'll need to consult with Earth's Security Council, But speaking personally, I like where this is going. As if on cue, the station's sensors pinged. Another Drakath battle group had just... Kai nodded, understanding the warning beneath the professor's words. They had earned attention today, but attention at the Galactic Gaming Institute could be dangerous. As they left the chamber, Kai couldn't help but smile. Humanity's first steps into galactic gaming might be unconventional, but they were definitely not going to be boring. 2 weeks into the first term, the Institute's grand simulation chamber had become Kai's sanctuary. While other students spent their free time merged with the quantum recreational networks, Kai preferred the solitude of late-night practice sessions. Tonight, the chamber's adaptive algorithms had conjured a scenario that would have made Earth's most advanced gaming systems look like ancient calculators. Impressive, came a melodious voice from the chamber entrance. Most first terms can't even comprehend the astral siege simulation, let alone solve it. Kai turned to find Naira Valshur, a third-year student whose bioluminescent skin cast a soft blue glow across the chamber. Like most Lumerians, she had an almost ethereal presence, her movements leaving trails of light in the air. "I wouldn't call this solving," Kai replied, gesturing to the holographic battlefield where thousands of probability streams intersected. "I'm just playing." Naira floated closer, her expression curious. "That's exactly what fascinates us. You're treating the galaxy's most sophisticated military training program like a game. Do you realize this simulation is used to train actual fleet commanders?" Before Kai could respond, the chamber's doors slid open again. A group of senior students entered, led by Vexthor, a quantum mind from the Arcturus Collective. His crystalline neural matrix pulsed with barely contained energy. "Analyzing the primitive again, Naira." Vexthor's voice resonated through the chamber's quantum field. "How charitable of you. Perhaps you can explain how it achieves such high scores without proper quantum processing capabilities." Kai had grown used to the thinly veiled accusations. Some students couldn't accept that a primitive human brain could compete with their advanced neural architectures. What they didn't understand was that humanity's greatest gaming achievements had always come from thinking outside established parameters. "Actually," Kai said, standing their ground, "I'd be happy to demonstrate. Care for a friendly match, Vexthor?" The chamber grew silent. Challenge matches between different years were rare and technically forbidden without faculty supervision. But Kai had spent 2 weeks studying their fellow students' techniques, and it was time to prove they belonged here. Vexthor's neural matrix flashed with amusement. "Very well, human. Let's see how your intuition handles a real challenge. Standard tournament rules." The chamber's eye reconfigured itself, generating a classic scenario: the battle of 1,000 probabilities. 2 players, each commanding vast fleets of quantum-entangled ships, had to outmaneuver each other across a battlefield where the laws of physics themselves were in flux. As the simulation began, Vexthor deployed his forces in a textbook quantum lattice formation, each ship precisely positioned to maximize probability manipulation. It was a strategy that had won countless tournaments, a perfect blend of mathematical precision and tactical orthodoxy. Kai took a different approach. Instead of fighting the quantum fluctuations, they embraced them, positioning their fleet in seemingly random patterns that made several observers gasp in dismay. To them, it looked like chaos. To Kai, it was jazz, improvisation within structure. "Your strategy is flawed," Vexthor announced, his fleet advancing in perfect formation. "You've left 17 critical probability nodes exposed. Victory will be swift." Kai smiled. "Maybe. But have you considered that I wanted you to see those nodes?" What followed left the observers speechless. Where Vexthor saw exposed weaknesses, Kai had laid elaborate traps. When he moved to exploit apparent vulnerabilities, he found his forces caught in probability cascades that shouldn't have been possible. Kai's random fleet movements created patterns that emerged only in retrospect, like a magic trick revealed too late to counter. "Impossible," Vexthor declared as his apparently perfect formation began to crumble. You're violating basic quantum strategic principles. No, Professor Sixtilith's voice rang out as they materialized in the chamber. They are redefining them. The professor had been observing silently, their geometric form shifting with increasing excitement as the MASH progressed. What we're witnessing, students, is not a violation of principles, but a demonstration of why we invite new species to the Institute. Human minds, it seems, can perceive patterns in quantum chaos that our traditional algorithms miss entirely. The lunar defense grid is fully operational, Val reported. The Drakath believe they are seeing normal reflection patterns from the moon's surface. They have no idea each crater now houses a plasma cannon. Raj studied the tactical display, still amazed by how much they had accomplished in mere weeks. Humanity's greatest strength had always been its ability to adapt, to take new ideas, and run with them. The Zephyrians provided the advanced technology, and humans found innovative ways to use it that the older species had never considered. "There is something else you should see," Lyra chimed, their form shifting to deeper hues. The display changed to show a massive Drakath fleet movement. They are not just sending a conquest force. This is nearly half their empire's military strength. "They're getting greedy," Henderson growled. "They think they found an easy target, so they're committing major forces to take everything in one swift strike. Their arrogance will be their undoing," Val observed. "They expect to find two separate, weak species. Instead, they will face something unprecedented, a true synthesis of human and Zephyrian capabilities." As if to demonstrate, a squad of human pilots entered the command center, their new battle suits incorporating Zephyrian crystalline technology. Each pilot could now mentally interface with their fighter craft through quantum links, while Zephyrian energy patterns enhanced their neural responses. "The latest simulation results are very promising," one of the pilots reported. "The Drakath's targeting systems can't lock onto us when we're phase shifted, and the new hybrid weapons cut through their armor like butter." Lyra's form brightened. "Your pilots have achieved harmony levels we thought impossible for non-crystalline beings. It seems humanity's gift for improvisation extends to consciousness itself." A warning tone sounded. The Drakath fleet had accelerated. They would reach Mars orbit sooner than expected. "Time to implement our first surprise," Henderson announced. "Captain Patel, is your team ready?" Raj nodded. "Operation Trojan Horse is go. We've got civilian ships playing distressed merchants, refugees, and lost explorers scattered across their approach vector. Each one is carrying enough phase-shifted ordnance to crack a Drakath cruiser. And our artists have prepared a special welcome message," Val added, bringing up another display. Across Earth's major cities, massive crystalline structures had been erected, apparently decorative monuments that would allow both species to channel massive amounts of energy in ways the Drakath wouldn't expect. "Let them come," Lyra chimed, their tone carrying both serenity and steel. "They believe they are approaching a philosopher's retreat and a primitive backwater. They will find themselves facing the combined strength of wisdom and innovation, of ancient knowledge and fresh perspective." As the command center hummed with activity, Raj caught glimpses of both species working in perfect harmony, humans bringing their legendary adaptability and tactical creativity, Zephyrians contributing their advanced technology and strategic wisdom. Together, they had created something entirely new, something the Drakath couldn't possibly predict. "You know," he said to Val, "there's an old human saying, 'Beware the fury of a patient man.'" Val's crystalline form shimmered with appreciation. "Indeed. Perhaps soon the galaxy will learn to beware the fury of peaceful species as well." The countdown to contact continued, and beneath the mountains, two species prepared to teach an empire the true meaning of strength. Rising storm. The Drakath fleet arrived during Earth's sunset, their massive ships blotting out stars as they moved into attack formation. From her position on the Lunar Command Center, Commander Nadia Santos watched the enemy's approach with calculated calm. The Drakath had arranged their forces in a perfect geometric pattern, a testament to their rigid mechanical thinking. Their formation is exactly as predicted, she commented to her Zephyrian partner, Combat Harmonizer Zen. They never deviate from established protocols. Zen's crystalline form pulsed with anticipatory patterns. Such inflexibility. They see it as strength. They're about to learn otherwise. The main display showed thousands of Drakath vessels, their black metal hulls absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Their command ship alone was the size of a small city, its surface bristling with weapon emplacements. By all conventional military assessments, Earth and the Zephyrians were hopelessly outgunned. But this wasn't going to be a conventional battle. All Operation Trojan Horse vessels in position, reported Lieutenant Wei from Tactical. The scattered civilian ships had spent the last week playing their roles perfectly, appearing lost, damaged, or simply foolish. The Drakath had ignored them as beneath notice. The enemy's transmission cut through all frequencies, their mechanical voice filled with contempt. Organic life forms of Earth and Zephyria, your time has ended. Surrender now and accept your place as subjects of the superior form of existence. Nadia nodded to communications. Send our response. Across Earth's major cities, the massive crystalline art installations began to pulse with light. They projected a synchronized musical performance into space, a fusion of human symphony and Zephyrian harmonic patterns. To the Drakath, it would appear that their victims were responding to impending doom with a concert. Such foolishness, the Drakath commander sneered, launching artistic performances in the face-off. The transmission cut off as Operation Trojan Horse activated. The scattered civilian vessels suddenly phase-shifted, their crystalline-enhanced nuclear weapons passing straight through Drakath shields. 30 enemy capital ships disappeared in synchronized flashes of light. First blood to the primitives. Nadia allowed herself a small smile. Launch fighters. From hidden bases across the lunar surface, squadrons of hybrid fighters emerged. Each craft was piloted by a human Zephyrian team, the vessels themselves incorporating both species' technologies. They moved in patterns that defied conventional physics, human intuition working through Zephyrian quantum systems to achieve the impossible. The Drakath response was predictable. They launched their own fighters in standard combat formations, but their targeting systems, designed to track normal matter, struggled against adversaries that could partially phase out of normal spacetime. The hybrid squadrons tore through their ranks like wind through smoke. The enemy is repositioning, Wei reported. They're moving to their secondary assault protocol. Right on schedule, Zen chimed. Shall we show them our next surprise? Nadia nodded. Signal Earth Defense Network. Commence Operation Harmony. The crystalline structures in Earth's cities transformed. What had appeared to be artistic light displays suddenly connected through quantum links, forming a planet-wide energy web. The combined power of human nuclear facilities and Zephyrian crystal matrices surged through this network. A wall of pure energy rose from Earth's surface, not a conventional shield, but something far more sophisticated. When the Drakath opened fire with their main weapons, the energy wall didn't just block their attacks. It absorbed them, redirected them, turned their own power against them. Impossible. The Drakath commander was back on the channel. Your species lacked the technological sophistication for such defenses. Perhaps, Nadia replied calmly, you should have paid more attention to our art installations. The next phase began. From Earth's oceans, submarines that had been modified with crystalline technology surfaced, their nuclear missiles now capable of tracking quantum signatures. From orbit, satellites that the Drakath had dismissed as communication relays revealed themselves as weapon platforms. But the real surprise came from the Zephyrians. Their seemingly decorative orbital arrays, which had been broadcasting philosophical debates and poetry readings, suddenly aligned into a complex geometric pattern. The pattern focused and amplified energy in ways that even the Drakath's advanced sensors couldn't fully comprehend. Multiple enemy capital ships reporting critical system failures, Wei announced. Their quantum cores are destabilizing. The Drakath formations began to break down. Their rigid battle protocols. The final match began with the most complex simulation ever attempted in tournament history. The quantum maze of infinite possibilities. Osrix's consciousness spread through the quantum field like a living constellation, while Kai's human mind interfaced through their neural headset. "Begin," announced Dean Ixthara, and reality itself seemed to fold. What followed was unlike anything the Institute had ever witnessed. Osrix's strategies unfolded like elaborate fractals, each move spawning countless counter possibilities. But Kai didn't try to match the champion's quantum mastery. Instead, they found the patterns within the chaos, the human mind's gift for discovering meaning in complexity becoming their greatest weapon. Impossible. Osrix's thoughts resonated through the quantum field. "You're seeing connections that don't exist." "They do exist," Kai responded, executing a move that caused gasps throughout the arena. "We just need to look at them differently." The battle raged across multiple probability planes, each competitor pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. Kai's neural interface began to overheat, their human brain processing patterns at unprecedented speeds.